Hi, welcome to Vanderbilt, at least virtually. My name is Susan Kay, and I'm the Associate Dean for Experiential Education. So I'm here to talk about what else? Experiential education at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, like most law schools, has three types of experiential education. The first is simulation courses. Simulation courses are courses where you hone skills without having actual clients or without having matters in real life. So moot court, for example, you argue a hypothetical made up um, appellate case in front of faculty or judges and hone your skills on being an appellate advocate. We have many of those courses at Vanderbilt, both litigation-based simulation courses like trial advocacy, but pretrial advocacy, but we also have transactional-based simulation courses, drafting courses, courses on simulating how to develop a social enterprise organization. So whether you're interested in litigation or whether you're interested in transactional practice, there's a simulation course that would be of interest to you. And I encourage you to take simulation courses even outside the area that you think you might be interested in, because it will help you hone all of your skills. In addition, we have a robust externship program, and Dean Spring-Miller will be telling you about that. So I'll just mention that the externship program allows you to receive academic credit for working at placements either in Nashville or anywhere in the world, working under the supervision of lawyers, learning law in context because you are learning in actual places where law is practiced. But the main feature of our experiential program is our live client clinical program. The live client clinical program is where you have the opportunity to represent clients under supervision. You receive academic credit just like any other course, but the coursework, instead of sitting in class, instead of writing papers or preparing for exams, learning material, the substance of the class is representing clients. You are able to take the procedure that you've learned in other courses, the substance that you've learned in other courses, and apply it to representing clients. And what you also learn is how not only the procedure and the substance work together, but how you add to that the skills of lawyering, the ability to solve problems for for clients, to relate to clients, to investigate cases, all come together to help you solve a problem for a lawyer. And I love teaching in the clinic because it's an opportunity to work very closely with students. Our clinics all work on a co-counsel method of representation. So the faculty member and the students work together as co-counsel on a case in order to best represent the client. We spend time thinking about what the best way is to analyze the client's problem, what the best way is to relate to the client, to give information to the client. Every step of the way, we think about how best to represent that client and how best to get to the result that the client wants. And so what we're hoping through the process is that you become a reflective lawyer. What's a reflective lawyer? A lawyer who constantly is thinking about, how did I do that particular task? What was good? What did I do well? What could I improve? How can I do it better the next time? Because law school is just the beginning of your legal education. It's the foundation of your legal education. But in order to be an excellent lawyer, which I know all of you will be, is that you continue to learn, that you continue to become better as you become more experienced. And the way to do that is, first of all, to pay attention to detail and to always check everything, but also to be reflective about what you do, to constantly think about, how could I do that? What did I do well? Should I continue doing? Because that I did really well. And how you can change it in the next situation or adapt it in the next situation to a new experience. We have many live client clinics here at Vanderbilt, and our theory is that we encourage you to take any clinic that you'd like to take. It doesn't necessarily have to be a clinic in the area where you're going to practice, because we like to think, and I think it's true, that any clinic that you take will teach you the skills and the abilities that will help you in any case that you work on. Learning how to think about law and how to think of the ends that your client wants and how you can use the law to get there. How you think about how best to develop a relationship with a client. All of those are skills and abilities that you can use in any practice that you go into later in your career. So what clinics do we have here? I teach a criminal practice clinic. In that clinic, students represent clients who have been charged generally with felonies here in Davidson County. And students represent the clients either through negotiation, through hearings, through discovery, through investigation, potentially a plea or trial or sentencing hearing. We also have an immigration clinic taught by Professor Carla McAnders. In that clinic, students represent clients who are seeking humanitarian immigration relief. Many are seeking refugee status. Some are unaccompanied minors who are seeking status in the United States. But they are all the clients are people who are here in the United States who are seeking the ability to stay here. We also have a community enterprise clinic taught by Professor Lauren Rogel. That clinic is totally transactional. In that clinic, students represent organizations, entities, individuals who want to set up a an organization, either for profit or not for profit, which has social justice or social enterprise features. So whether it's not for profit or for profit, the organization is seeking to do something that helps the community's good. And they work on tax issues, they work on organizational issues, employment issues, all of the types of transactional issues that affect a small business. We have a youth opportunity clinic taught by Professor Kara Suval. That clinic represents clients who are roughly 16 to 25, older teens or younger adults, who have either been in custody or are at risk of going into custody. And the clinic helps them with civil matters that will help them stay out of custody. So employment issues, educational issues, expunging their records to make it easier for them to get jobs, housing issues, all of those issues that are related to their ability to stay in the community and be productive members of the community. We also have an intellectual property and the arts clinic taught by Professor Michael Bressman. And in that clinic, students first of all appear before the United States Patent and Trademark Office seeking trademarks for clients. They also represent clients in intellectual property and arts issues that come up for various clients, and those can be either litigation or transactional. We have a First Amendment clinic taught by Professor Gautam Hans. In that clinic, students represent clients, obviously, who are claiming that First Amendment rights to publication, speech, assembly have been violated. And finally, our newest clinic is a housing clinic taught by Professor Jen Prusak, and that clinic represents clients who have been, who are seeking to avoid eviction, clients who have concerns with their housing situation, representing tenants groups and seeking to negotiate better with their landlord, and also does some public education work. So all of those clinics help you to think about lawyering and to think about being a better lawyer. Why is it that I have done what I am doing for many, many years, and I love it. I love working with students. I love working with them and seeing how they develop as professionals. And I will also say that one thing that is wonderful about the clinic is that students add a lot to the legal system. And let me give you my case in point. We had a case many years ago where a client had been in custody for a drug offense, was charged with a new drug offense. And the students who represented him to begin with were able to resolve the case so that he pled guilty and was placed on community corrections, which is kind of probation on steroids. And but he did not go into custody. He was sent home and was on community corrections. About 2 years later, he was charged with a violation of community corrections, meaning that his community corrections officer said that our client had been had tested positive for cocaine, and also that he had not met his curfew several evenings. And we went to a hearing on that because the DA said, I'm not putting him back on community corrections. I won't agree to anything short of he's going to prison and serving his sentence. And so the students worked very hard and put together a great case. We spent about 3 hours at a hearing where we were arguing that our client should be allowed to go home, and the DA was arguing that the client should be sent to prison. At the end of that hearing, the judge said, I am not sending him to prison, but I have two options. One is to send him home on community corrections, and the other is to send him into inpatient treatment in the drug court program, which is a Davidson County program. We had another 2-hour hearing, and at the end of that hearing, where the students put on proof by professionals, psychologists, social workers who said people with addiction issues do better, people suffering from addiction do better going home with their family, with the support of their family, than staying someplace where their family isn't. And the drug court program is in Nashville, and our client's family, and he lived about 2.5 hours away. At the end of that hearing, the judge sent him home with the treatment plan as the students had requested. Huge victory. I mean, one that was just incredible. At the end of the hearing, the DA came over to me and congratulated the students. But I got comments from 2 defense attorneys. One said, you know, if your client really wants treatment, he should go into drug court, which didn't make sense because that's not what the experts were telling us. And the second was somebody who said, I hope your students realize that in real life, they wouldn't have 5 hours to work on this here, to have a hearing in court. And I thought to myself, but this is real life. Our client's getting to go home. This is his real life. But what I said to the lawyer was, the students didn't know they were supposed to lose. And I realized after I said it, that meant more than I had really thought at the time. Every criminal defense lawyer in that room was threatened by what the students did, because all of those lawyers thought that this case was a loser and the client was not going to get to go home, and therefore they shouldn't spend their time on it. The students didn't know that. The students thought they could win the case, and they did. And that's what's so exciting, is that students bring that fresh perspective, not knowing that they're supposed to lose a case, and therefore sometimes being able to win them. And that is a wonderful addition to the justice system. That's something that students can bring to the system that no one else can bring to the system. And I just love it. And I love working with students. So I hope you decide to come to Vanderbilt, but wherever you go to law school, I hope that you will take a clinic and get involved in clinical education. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And best of luck in choosing a law school, and yay, you should choose Vanderbilt. Thanks.